name is Willa, and I'm working with the students from Cardoza and Eastern High School at Marion Street Garden in Washington, D.C. Today we're learning how a garden models a healthy watershed. Water is a part of us and all around us. As gardeners and growers, our actions affect the quality of our streams, rivers, basins, and even the sea. In the Nature Works Everywhere lesson plan that we're demonstrating today, students explore the relationship between the rainwater filtration by their garden and the water quality of the watershed surrounding them. Students use rainfall data to determine how much rainwater their garden filters. By the end of the lesson, students should understand key concepts related to the watershed, such as permeable surfaces, filtration, and runoff. They should also be able to explain the key role that permeable surfaces play in regional watersheds. So let's get started. First, you'll want to start your lesson off by asking your students a couple of questions to get them thinking. What happens to water when it rains? Saviana.
It goes in the ground.
Exactly. Does anyone know what the term impermeable means? Anaja.
It means that the ground does not absorb the water.
Great. What about permeable?
Permeable is when the water actually does soak in.
How might this garden work as a water filter?
It can clean out the runoff.
On an impermeable surface, water runs off, carrying along pollutants into our watershed, which is where we get our drinking water from. So let's try it with our impermeable surface and our permeable surface. So if you imagine that these cups are both storm drains, the storm drain surrounded by an impermeable surface collects a lot more water than the storm drain surrounded by a permeable surface. So now we know how nature cleans and filters our water. How many gallons of water do you think that this garden filters?
Around 600.
I say 200.
Like 642 maybe?
So how do you think we can find out how much water this garden filters? Malachi.
We could put a device on the ground to measure the water.
The best way to figure this out is by building a rain gauge and then using that to track rainfall in your garden. You can use this data to calculate how much rainwater your garden is filtering. Now I'm going to break up the students and we're going to start building rain gauges out of recycled bottles, rulers, and permanent markers. So you're going to want to start it from like the bottom of this one right now. I think if you just tape it Nice work. Let's go hang these in the garden.
How about right here?
That's perfect. As you can see, we've placed rain gauges all around the garden to get more accurate measurements. We want really accurate data, so we're going to take weekly measurements. All right, let's go. So it's been a week and we've collected some rain, so we're going to go ahead and record our measurements on our data collection sheet. Now that we've got the data, we can figure out exactly how much water our garden filtered this week. So first, imagine the depth of the water that you measured as a layer of water covering the permeable surface of the garden. So we're trying to figure out how many gallons of water that is. So what might be a number that we need to know to figure that out? Malachi.
How big the garden is.
Exactly. Who knows how big the surface of our garden is? Saviana?
5,600 square feet.
Perfect. From the data that we collected, we know that we received 2 inches of rainfall last week. According to the Nature Conservancy, we know that 1 square foot of permeable surface filters 0.623 gallons of water per inch of rainfall. All right, now let's create an equation. Anaja, can you grab the whiteboard? So we've got our rainfall multiplied by the amount filtered by square foot multiplied by the size of our garden. So how much rain did we get?
2 inches.
And how much is filtered in 1 square foot?
0.623.
And how big is our garden?
5,600 square feet.
All right. Saviana, do you want to calculate that for us?
6,978 gallons of water.
So how does that compare to your initial guesses?
It's more than I thought it would be.
I completely underestimated our garden.
It was way off.
Way off.
So what is this garden doing for our watershed? Saviana.
It reduces the amount of water that goes into our storm drains.
And that also reduces the amount of pollution that goes into our waterways.
So lots of little things add up to a big effect. How do you think this affects gardens across the country? Anaja.
The more little gardens we have, the better our drinking water will be.
We hope you enjoyed this video. For more resources, lessons, and videos, visit natureworkseverywhere.org. Keep growing!